Hey, Sagittarius. Welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline. I'm glad to have you here. So we're going to talk about what the story of July is for you. But before we get into your role and what you're walking into, Spirit wants to offer you a mission statement, a sort of North Star. It'll be interesting to see if the star pops up in your cards because that's the first time they put it that way. So a North Star. Your July mission statement, something to keep in mind, something that will benefit you truly all month long in July. From the Threads of Fate deck, beautiful deck, forgive my spatial craziness, get wild. Spirit is asking you to reclaim some aspects of yourself that naturally as humans we've been asked to give up because of like school, work, family, society. We have to put away some of our instincts. We have to put away some of our wildness in order to fit in, right? Well, I feel like some of y'all have been trying to fit yourselves into a situation that is going against all of your instincts. And Spirit wants to set you free. Rather, let me put it this way. Spirit wants you to set yourself free. It's time to reconnect and reclaim. That's the word that they keep using. It's like reclaim those aspects of yourself that you feel sometimes not allowed to experience. Now they're showing me the Strength card. We're going to pull your cards in just a second. But I want you to ask yourself, Sagittarius, if there is like a situation or a job or etc. that you are kind of folding yourself in and trying to like fit into this box or fit into this role, that your instincts are like, listen, if Sagittarius, if you have a moment where, you know, you're just sitting with your partner or your family and they're saying something perfectly reasonable to you and you want to roar, that's your like instinct. Like, I'm not saying roar at them. I'm saying let's acknowledge the instinct. Like sometimes our instincts can seem like very strange, like, wow, why is this primal reaction coming up in response to this person or this word or this email or whatever. What we're taught by society to do is to smash that, to put it away, to hide it, to deny it even to ourselves. And Spirit is asking you to explore your wildness a little bit, to listen to those instincts, to pay attention to them. There's a difference. They're making this very clear. It's like there's a difference between paying attention and listening to your instincts and blindly reacting and following your instincts. We're talking about getting reacquainted and reclaiming, because Spirit is talking about, I mean, Sagittarius, you are the wild child of the zodiac. So get wild normally should be like, we shouldn't even have to pull this card for you because it's like, duh, that's my default. I'm constantly getting wild. But again, some of you, it feels like, have been kind of like knocking your head into a wall, trying to stuff like your beautiful like polygonal fucking shape into like a square, and it's like, you're not a square. In every sense of the word, Sagittarius, you're not a square. So just to start with, you don't even have to take action on what your instincts are, but just to start with, Spirit is asking you to get into that primal energy. This is also very moon card energy, tapestry notwithstanding. Let's get into the story. Let's see a little bit of the plot of how you're meant to get wild and what happens when you get a little wild in July. Spirit, what do Sagittarians need to know in the month of July for their highest good, for their greatest peace, security, joy, love? Okay, Spirit's throwing cards. Spirit, what do Sagittarians need to know for their highest good? For their highest good in the month of July. What pitfalls and potentials, what energies, what possibilities lie ahead for Sagittarius? What lessons lie behind? How can they step toward their best future with the most fun and the most grace? Spirit, let's get into it. Perfect. I always just stop when Spirit says stop. Sometimes it's 13, sometimes it's 10. Okay, Sag. Month of July. Woof! Look at you. Get wild. Oh my goodness, I can do it. I swear. Get wild. this makes me happy. Get wild, act natural, be yourself. Even if that means, and we'll talk about why, even if that means letting go of certain things. And particularly, I'm feeling like certain traditional things. So some of you all might be putting an end to a certain type of job or a certain type of relationship because you would like to start something new and fresh and kind of non-traditional is what I'm hearing. So that could mean different things for different people. For some of you, that's like maybe you've been in a job and you want to start like a business partnership kind of thing. For others of you, remember Sagittarius, of course, these are general readings. So I'm hearing several different things for several different types of Sagittarians that are going to be listening to this. For some of you, it feels like I'm leaving this marriage because like I have sparks with somebody else, or because I have zero sparks with this person and I know that I'll have sparks with someone else. That's one. There's another that's like, I'm bored of this awful job and I see the potential of like forming a relationship with a new entity, whether that be a new place of work, whether that be like a partner or a team that you'd like to work with. But that's what I'm hearing is like there's this opportunity to kind of change teams. That's how Spirit's putting it. Is like, do you want to change teams? If you listen to your wildness, does your wildness want you to stay, or does your wildness want you to make a change? You know, this is vivid, but Spirit is now like, you know how like a fox will chew its leg off if it's stuck in a trap? They don't want you to get to a point where you're chewing your leg off, and if you're already at the point, like, then it might be time to just let go. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Sag. I'm gonna get this lens thing right. Death, the end of a situation, where you find yourself. I don't want you to be scared of this card, Sagittarius. It's all about, you know, death's door is transformational. It's walking through the corridor, closing the door behind you and saying that part of my life is done. That phase or that chapter or that person or that situation, done. I'm done with it. And I want to make a distinction that there's a difference between, like, say, the Tower and the Death card. You don't have the Tower anywhere here in your spread. It's not a surprise. This is something that you maybe even saw coming. Like, I knew that this was dying in its own way. This idea was dying, or this goal, or this relationship, or this spark for this particular job, or like interest or line of work. And it's hard to let go. Because again, Spirit is bringing me to what society says about letting go, giving up, quitting, right? Well, as I said earlier, welcome to Zero's journey, where we don't do blame, shame, and judgment, all right? We learn. Sometimes we do make mistakes. Mistakes are allowed. Mistakes can be celebrated. Mistakes bring about change. Spirit wants you to be honest with yourself and recognize that, again, society and culture puts a premium on like sticking through it and like your commitment. And listen, like, I'm here for commitment, but I'm here for true, authentic commitment. I'm not here for like, well, we shook hands on it, so like, I guess even though it's killing my spirit, I guess I have to do it. Or, well, we said vows, and even though they're treating me like shit and I'm not in love with them and I don't even like them, I have to stick it through. Like, make your own decision. It's your free will. Your free will is everything. Don't do anything based on a tarot card reading, my God. But I'm saying, if it doesn't feel true, then you're not really committed to it anyway. So what does it mean to honor a commitment that you're not actually committed to? That's just what Spirit is saying, okay? I understand that there may be some kind of pressure of family or tradition for some of you. Like, my family's gonna look at me like this, or like I would be the first one in my family to do this thing or whatever, and nobody would understand. And I want to give you like sympathy and empathy. And I want to tell you that it's like you're begging to be set free. The Fool crossing your reading, saying throw away the baggage and get in over your head. Get in over your head. Try it out. Be the first one on the dance floor. I'm going to reference my favorite Stoic philosopher. His name is Epictetus, a suggestive name to be sure. And he said, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, don't worry about what anybody else thinks. If you want to do it, do it. If you want to do it, try and fail and try again and fail again and try and try and fail and try and try and try and try and fail and then win. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't want to bypass that, the fact that that's difficult, especially when it's coming from tradition, family, etc. You know, again, culture, religion, because I'm feeling all these things. That's what I'm saying when I say tradition, patriarchy, things that like we get looked at funny for rebelling. But it's meant to be, because it's your truth. So here, the very center of your reading, Sagittarius, you, Queen of Swords, speaker of truth, which you are famous for. The Queen of Swords is the queen of words, and you can be anywhere on the gender spectrum and show up as a queen. It's not about gender or sex. It has everything to do with your personality and how you are coming through this month. And with my prayer, my intention that I speak before we ever start the recording is like, this, all of what comes through will only be for the highest good of everybody that I read, whether it's difficult, whether it's easy, happy, sad, that it is only for their highest good. Why would I want to share anything with you unless it was for your life to be better, for you to know yourself better, be more joyful, love yourself more, etc. So the Queen of Swords is, Spirit is actually using the word teacher. So some of you are teachers, whether conventionally speaking or like you are aspiring to teach something or pass on some kind of wisdom and words. The Queen of Swords is like a writer, a speaker, a podcaster, a YouTuber, somebody who's like, I have thoughts and I want to share them with you. You can see she has like a beckoning, a summoning kind of gesture going on here where it's like, yes, gather round, listen, I'm going to give you the strategy. The other thing about the Queen of Swords is she stands up for herself. She's been through it. And you may feel very much like you've been through it, Sagittarius. The key to your reading, like I said, it's not easy to let go. It's not easy to let go even when we want to, even when our instincts say, this isn't it, this isn't it, this isn't it. And like, can I just say, human to human, like I've been there where it's like, no, but I really want this to work. Like this situation is, I chose this situation, I'm committed to this situation, and like no matter what, you know, my brain was saying, no matter what even my feelings were saying, there was that, you know, we call it intuition, we call it gut, call it whatever you like, there's that quiet, deep voice inside that's like, ooh, I don't think this is it. And, you know, let me know in the comments, but I have never yet found that voice to be inaccurate. As much as I wanted it to be inaccurate, as hard as I might have worked to try to make it inaccurate, it was so. Hey, this is intuition. Okay. So, it's not easy to let go. Some of you may very much want to hold on. I feel that, again, the general readings, right, Sagittarius, if you ever want to book a personal, link in the description. Some of you don't want to stay. Some of you are ready to go. Some of you have been ready to go. And it's like, okay, am I ready? Is this the month that I make the leap? Full card, sun card. If I really look at myself, if I really look at the truth of what's going on within me, I want to jump. That's what I'm hearing for a lot of you. And you already know that. And you're prepared, your crowning card here, you're prepared to cut your losses. You're prepared to collect your chips, leave what you've lost on the table, and walk away. Because it's going to lighten your load. It's going to lighten your mind. Some of you are not ready. Some of you are not willing. And again, no blame, no shame, no judgment. Some of you want to hold on. And again, as I said earlier, your free will is everything. If you want to hold on, hold on. And you get to see, you get to find out, you get to choose the lesson. It's like, do I want the lesson where I keep doing this and I see if anything changes? Or do I want the lesson of, well, this is terrifying. I just upended a big aspect of my life and now, you know, mystery lies ahead of me. Anything could happen, kind of thing. I have to say, you know, for Sagittarius, I'm biased toward, hey, let's go check out some wild new horizons. Let's go discover new things. Rebirth always follows death. That's one of the, you know, quote unquote benefits of walking off of the cliff is like, well, I knew this wasn't it. So wherever I land, it's definitely going to teach me something new. Where I am now ain't teaching me anything new. So here's the tradition. that you're leaving behind. For some of you, I feel this is a partner. Not for all of you. This is a great moment to remember to trust your own intuition. Since I'm getting a lot of messages for different people, some of these are going to resonate, some are not. Please trust yourself, and please read the through line through your own life. This could be for some of you like father and family, as I was saying, the tradition. But some of you, this is like romantic partner, someone I'm, married to or committed to. And it feels like in some way, you all are, you may feel like you are quote unquote abandoning. That's what they're telling me about the Seven of Swords. Some of you might feel that you are abandoning tradition or abandoning a family unit or a job. And again, I just want to give you some sympathy and tell you that straight from spirit, something needs to be adjusted and changed right now. Some things are working great and bearing tons of fruit, and all the work and time and energy and love you're putting into them are yielding lots, and others aren't really paying off. And this is a good time to step back, to make an adjustment, to get wild and listen to what your wild says about it. What does your wild say about your relationship? What does your primal say about your job? And a good exercise could be, what does my wild, like what kind of song rhymes or sounds like my wild self? What kind of dance? What kind of, how do I move my body when I think of myself as like wild? And maybe that might help you kind of sink in and get into character in a way, Sagittarius, and feel yourself. And here's another way, thinking back to childhood, things you like to do, the way you used to play unabashedly when you weren't worried about who saw or what they thought about the way that you liked to play imagination games, or the way you got mad, or the way you got excited, the things, like I said, that are kind of drummed out of us, shamed out of us over the course of growing up so much of the time. It's time to reclaim that. And I'll tell you, it's not in your spread this time, but when I was shuffling your cards and Spirit kept talking about reclaim before I turned on the video, the Six of Wands kept popping up, which is a card of victory, a card of recognition. And what Spirit is really saying is, like, they're talking about liberation for you, like letting go of some bonds, remembering your neglected intuition and instinct, and what lies in your future when you do that. Amazing, beautiful new invitations, introductions, connections. Two of Cups, blossoming partnership, blossoming love. A very important introduction. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. A very important introduction. So what is it, Sagittarius? Let me know. Please, I would love to hear stories, questions, comments, anything that comes up for you about your reading. And like I said earlier, if you ever want to book a personal or just go hang out in our Discord chat, anything like that, all those links are in the description as well. I appreciate you, Sagittarius. Thanks for being here. I really hope your reading helps. And if I don't see you in the weekly Sunday vlogs, then I hope I will see you in your August reading. Bye, Sagittarius.